months ago, and it's a great turnaround story.
So, good afternoon. I'm from Lincoln Minerals, and we're developing Australia's graphite, uranium and iron ore projects, Eyre Peninsula, South Australia. It's been a busy 6 months since I've joined. We've got, in the graphite space, which we are, we've doubled the resource in 7 months. We've increased the high-grade core, and there's still a lot more to grow that starts to surface. And we've proven that we've got scalability through the exploration targets. We've also added 2 new commodities. One is uranium and the other one is graphite. Other one is magnetite. So with uranium, in 2007, Lincoln was IPO'd searching for iron and uranium. They explored for 5 years, up until 2011. We've gone back to look at what they've done, and we've found a great exploration portfolio, which I'll discuss shortly. With the magnetite, in 2018, Lincoln purchased Centrex's old assets, which there were 2 Chinese steel makers. They actually had spent over $70 million and got it up to DFS and approval stage. That asset was effectively forgotten about. So we unearthed that, we validated it, and we've released. So we've got 3 companies in one, and we have to be disciplined, and we've chosen one, and that is our core business is graphite. And we will develop that and aim to have that dig ready by the end of next year. In terms of the uranium and the magnetite, we are totally focused on increasing the value of the shareholders. And for the uranium, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit, like really low-hanging fruit. We'll pluck that and then we'll reassess what we do next. With the magnetite, now that's huge, that's 1.2 billion. We'll immediately go out and look for a big brother, which we're doing at the moment. We've started the story getting out, and we can see the momentum in our share price. But it is only just the beginning. If you look at the valuation just on the graphite alone, Renascor and Quantum Graphite are within 120 kilometres of each other, and we're still not valued comparatively, yet we're the second largest graphite producer, graphite resource in Eyre Peninsula. And we're actually comparable with the exploration space. And that doesn't even include the $1.2 billion magnetite, nor the uranium portfolio that we've now introduced. And you can just see on the price, we're starting to build the price, but we've got a long way to run. Now, I'm blessed with an amazing board. Julian Babasi, who is ex-Regal Funds, he's bringing a wealth of knowledge about investment and deal making. We've got Ryan Smith, who is an ex-state minister for the EPA and the various portfolios, so our ability to understand and communicate with government and community are there. John Lam, he is ex-HSBC and Hang Seng, so Canada, America, Singapore and Hong Kong, so a wealth of knowledge there. So a great board, and I'm a developer, so it's a perfect match. So we're a developer of graphite, currently an explorer of uranium, and we'll be looking for a partner for our magnetite projects. So we've got the right rocks. In South Australia, with the graphite, there's over 60% of the graphite resource for Australia. In terms of uranium, we're effectively the Saudi Arabia of equivalent of the uranium world. We've got 20% of the world's uranium, and then we're also producing 8% of the production for uranium. With the magnetite, South Australia's got 43% of the magnetite. So we're in the right jurisdiction. South Australia is in the top 10 for the Fraser Institute of the best places to invest. And in terms of uranium experience, we've got one of 2 ports in Australia that can export uranium. In terms of infrastructure, most people talk about being near infrastructure. We're surrounded by it. In fact, we've got some going over us. We've got the Eyre Peninsula high voltage transmission line going over some of our tenements. And especially highlight that in 2015 onwards, they've doubled the high voltage power, increased capacity of port and accesses, and there's a desal plant going in, and there could be a second desal plant. So all your major infrastructure concerns are covered, and we've got 2 regional centres next to us. I've developed a few projects in sensitive areas, and the key is to get the community on board and engage them, and to get them into the early design process. So we're highly committed on getting our community on board and into the design process. So why have we chosen graphite? Because uranium's hot. We've got a huge magnetite. We've chosen it because we can see we can be the best. There's a potential tier 1 here. We're in a tier 1 area for graphite. We believe in 50% of all batteries have got graphite in it, and it's a geopolitical play as well. So we believe that the price will move and will be there. And we've got a high-grade core on a mining lease that is a competitive advantage. So that's why we're backing the graphite as our core business. In terms of the feasibility, I'll just point out the feasibility. 2017, they did a 35,000 tonne per annum concentrate feasibility. It came up with 33% IRR. It was one of the reasons why I was attracted to join this company. I'm aiming to equal or better that when we're going to double or triple the production in the feasibility, and that's why we doubled the resource. So in terms of the Hutchinson Group, which over 60% of Australia's resource is, that's within 120 k's. Renascor's at the north, Quantum Graphite's at the south, and we're in the middle. And we hold a great tenement package in that area. So we're just going to increase that graphite resource. We've doubled it now, and we'll just slowly increase it over time, drawing down from that exploration targets that we've confirmed and developed. So the great thing about the core, this high-grade core, is that one, we get a higher payback period and improves the IRR. Our first bucket is going to be 20%. So compared to a lot of other assets that have to dig down 5-15 metres and 6-8%. So the PFS will confirm this, but we'd be able to produce a concentrate I believe, in the bottom quartile. We've also got some flat areas which will be require bring in low costs, low stripping ratios. So amazing sort of hidden gems when you go into a company that's stalled. Just at the end of 2017, the project, just before it stalled, they sent away 39 tonne to China for their pilot plants. It actually produced a good 95-96% concentrate. Just not anything over 95% is good. And then the hydrofluoric acid, they got 99.9%. So tick for batteries. We've got the right flake. And then they sent it off to Canada, and we got 300 kilo of ferrous-sized graphite, which we can now put into people's hands. I read that report and it's about 4 months ago, and I said, oh, does anyone know where this concentrate is? And no one knew. So I asked the GO to go to the core shed, and we found it. So we can actually put that into people's hands. So I'd say we're 3/4 of the way of the journey. A lot of work's been done. In the next 18 months, we'll finish it. So next 3 months, we're going to focus on trade-off studies, and really refining our scope of work for our pre-feasibility, which will aim to finish at the end of the year. Then we'll finish off the feasibility and approvals. We're already on a mining lease. The secondary approvals had nearly been complete, with the aim to be dig ready. So uranium. So we've just looked at historic work, and we've got like 2 holes. One at the north that's got, best hole is 570. One to the southern area of our province, we've got at 350. What break even for most mines, cut-off grade is about 250. So not saying we've got a mine yet or a resource, but it says keep going, you're on the right track. And these are our first 2 target areas, Jungle Dam with the 570 and White Flat area. If you look at the radiometrics, which is done pre-competitive data, that's the red stuff's over 135, and that's where it cuts off. So we're pretty excited to get into that area. And if you look at Alligator Energy to the north, that's going to be probably the next uranium mine in Australia, and we've got a good set of provenance. So our green iron project, I'll briefly touch on it because we're going to partner it. It is big, and just to understand the green iron story for some people. So effectively, iron ore in the Pilbara requires coking coal. Magnetite doesn't. So that's an advantage for CO2 footprint. And then also with the magnetite, you can feed it into electric arc furnaces, which can be powered by renewable energy. So that's, and South Australia is going big on the green energy and green steel. So we're part of that. So in terms of the grade, it's a great grade for magnetite. We've got 26% producing a 67% concentrate over the whole of the area. And we'll get a premium. Higher in silica, 4.5, but we've got a coarse grind of 75 microns. So I've been told that we can reduce the grind and reduce that silicon down to a target of 2% that we're after. So our core is graphite mining. We've got 2 assets that we're aiming to increase the value for our shareholders, and we're looking forward to developing this project. Thank you.